Today's unboxing is going to be all about yoga. So I'm gonna get up on the table here and do like, no. None of that, no. Actually, we're gonna be having a look at the Lenovo Yoga. The Lenovo Yoga. This is a tablet, it's a notebook, it's extremely flexible and versatile. Oh, that's where they got the name from. I get it. I thought one of the executives' wives was really into yoga, and she was all like, oh, you know what you should call your new product? The Yoga. No, I get it. Okay, I got that before. This one right here is the Yoga 11. So this is an 11-inch Tegra 3, 2 gig, 64, so 2 gigs of RAM, 64 gig SSD, 11.6-inch touchscreen, running Windows RT. So what this is meant to do is bridge the gap between, oh, look at that. There's an external box that's horrible, and then the one that would look great on a retail shelf is actually inside. So let's get into the details of this tablet notebook thing that actually doesn't have a lot of information on this outer box, but main selling point is the unique and patented hinge design that makes it one of the most flexible devices out there. There's also a 13-inch model that will be available at some point that has a Core i7 processor and actually runs fully fledged Windows 8, but having a look at the 11-inch model here should give you some idea of what the form factor is capable of. And the RT model running Tegra 3 should be significantly more power efficient, giving you much better battery life. It's also obviously more portable and, you know, stuff. Now, the thing about the 11-inch model is that it's not an Ultrabook, whereas the 13-inch one is. So remember, to be an Ultrabook, you have to run an Intel processor. You have to be within a certain form factor. But either way, it should give you guys some idea what to expect in terms of the form factor. So my biggest complaint about these convertible tablet notebook things in the past has always been, well, they're so much thicker than regular notebooks that it sort of becomes pointless in my opinion. So as long as it's something that can fit into a regular sort of more normal form factor, then I don't mind it. For size comparison, I've got an HTC 8X because I'm not using an iPhone anymore. And so that should give you some idea how big it is compared to a Windows phone, which hopefully, actually, there is some comparison there to be made. That is meaningful. On the bottom here, we've got 4 rubber feet for making it not slip around. The entire construction is metal, and I'd expect that out of a product like this that is, I mean, it's Lenovo for one thing, so you just sort of expect it to be extremely solidly built. You can see there's very little flex to the chassis, even though it's a thin Ultrabook. And you'd expect that from something that's meant to be used like this, where it actually has to, you know, sit up against itself on the back, and it has to maintain its rigidity no matter what you're doing. So that is the hinge design right there. It looks like a notebook. It walks like a notebook. But is it a notebook? Well, yes. But is it just a notebook? The answer is no. So it's meant to be used a number of different ways. Number one is notebook style. So there you've got a multi-touch pad, you've got a chiclet keyboard, you've got a very rugged, see little things like this. Nice, like rubberized, textured grip here that just feels awesome and feels extremely durable, and hopefully Slick's getting a good shot of that. You got the texture going on there? Okay, awesome. Looks like no cardinal sins committed on the keyboard, so we have a wide backspace, a wide shift, we have all of our Alt and Enter and Control. See, this shift is the right space as well, so they haven't really changed around the format as much as some guys do. You'll find things like an airplane mode on it because it's running Windows RT. It is sort of a tablet, and I did try to power it on, and that didn't work for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in, and we'll be back in a moment. Yeah, you know what? Maybe what I should have done is a tour of the buttons on the Yoga before I tried to turn it on using the Windows key, which obviously won't work. So this is the power button right here, as well as a charging indicator. On the other, oh, this is so nice. It's like a rubberized finish here that just, between the sandwiched metal, just, feels really good. This guy right here is the, portrait lock, or the rotation lock. Here is USB 2, SD card reader, power in. The power in looks suspiciously like a, you know, USB port when you look at it just like this, but it isn't. And does it go in both ways? Yeah, look at that. It's reversible. That's handy. Okay, on the back you have the special hinge, which we'll show you more close up in a moment. Here's a headphone, microphone jack, USB, HDMI, which is nice to have, full-size HDMI, reset, another speaker, and volume up and down. So pretty standard fare for a tablet, but oh yeah, the screen looks, the brightness is very low right now, so we'll have to show you guys again when the brightness is higher. So that's just the way that it comes out of the box. But the screen has a great viewing angle. The colors don't distort, no matter which angle you're looking at it from. So these actually serve two purposes on this notebook. Number one is they act as a notebook anti-slip thing. The other is they protect the top cover when you're using it in tablet mode. So this is how it's intended to be used. Now, when you're holding it as a tablet, there's only going to be a couple different ways that you can hold on to it. So this is rubber. Oh, right, again, for a very good reason. See, that's what I like about Lenovo. They think about stuff. It's rubberized so that you can hold it like this without your finger slipping or without not being able to hold on to it. It's also, so that you can hold it with one hand here comfortably with your thumb and your palm on the edge, and the rubberized grip on the back, making it so that you actually don't just drop the thing. So let's show you the hinge up close. So this is what it looks like. It's metal, it's strong, it feels robust. Like when you move it, it's not like those convertibles where they have a hinge in the middle that rotates and then you turn the thing around. I mean, what I like about that design is that you don't have the keyboard on the back when you're using it as a tablet. But what I like about this design is it doesn't feel like it's going to break in 2 seconds like those other ones. Whether they do or don't break, I don't know. I've never actually used one for an extended period of time, but it just doesn't feel right to me. So the hinge bends here. So here, if you can get in close, you can see it bends this way, like that, and holds itself still until it gets to about 180 degrees. Then it rotates the other way. Okay, now you can see it's not bending here anymore. So both of these two hinges have 180 degree rotations. But the way that it works is very smooth. So it goes one, as you fold it back, one then the other. And then when you bring it back to notebook mode, it goes one, back to here, where it kind of snaps into place. Well, not snaps, but like there's a bit of a feelable click there, and then the other until you actually close it. So the way it's meant to be used. Number one, notebook mode. Number two, you can use it in a stand mode like that. So you can actually sort of just go da, 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 da. The other way that it's meant to be used is tent mode. So it can obviously flip over. There we go. Now we got our Windows UI. So yeah, it dimmed itself again. So let's just go settings, and brightness is, oh, is that as bright as it gets? There must be an auto brightness thing going on here that's adjusting it. So, so there you go. And then the last one, of course, is full-on tablet mode. So that's like that. So there you go. That's pretty much our hands-on with the Lenovo Yoga 11. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos. So Slick made a good point. This is really cool. When you're in this mode, the keyboard's actually completely disabled, so you don't have to worry about just touching the rubber grippy parts. You can just mash the entire back, and you can see, I'll bring up a text prompt here. Nothing's actually going to happen at all. I think I reduced the brightness, though, somehow. Oh, right, I took out the power plug. However, let's see, so when you're in this mode, keyboard's still off. Yep, there's our on-screen keyboard. When you're in, oh, so it's probably triggered by that second hinge. So here we go. Let's try this. Okay, so we go to our search box. So when we go back, there we go. Yep, so it's triggered by that second hinge. So that's why it's so important that it goes one hinge then the other. That's an extremely expensive hinge design.